How do you want to start us out with the pledge?
I pledge
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start out with Jeremy.
All right, so the last council meeting, I came to you guys and we were, you guys approved an addition for the Ready project for fundraising materials, advertising materials, and I had also told you that I'd be coming back to this special session to ask you to approve an addition for $2 million because the Ready funds had been delayed. We've now gotten word that they're going to start being released. We just aren't seeing those funds yet, but we are seeing bills come in from the Ready 2.0 project, and so we want to keep that project moving forward. So adding the $2 million to Ready now is just going to let us continue that process. We've gotten a bill of $738,000 now. Word is we'll be getting another bill here shortly, and so this will just keep the project moving. Right now, with where the project's at, I talked with Brett. The foundation certification from the state, and once they get that in, they'll go over to area plan, get all of that done because we also rezone that area, and then they'll start with the foundation, knocking on the doorstep of actually seeing true progress out there. And I know Kenny has been working on the farm and home part of that project, so those bathrooms should be done soon. The tiling down at the horse arena and at the track has also been completed. So we're making progress going. The building itself is supposed to be delivered in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so I was talking with Scott Barnes last week about where that's going to go because 2 or 3 weeks puts us right before the fair. His first inclination was to put it in that nice big open area in the middle of the fairgrounds, and I told him that's not going to work. So I think right now the plan is to just drop it on the pad. It'll have to be put there, and then they'll have to move it later. But that's the best possibility. We discussed possibly putting it in an open field, but they didn't like that idea because then you'd have to move it all the way back, so you're driving back and forth with the heavy equipment. So they'll just drop it on the pad. So come fair time, there should be a building sitting on site, just not constructed.
Is he planning on having a footer?
How long it takes for the state to give us our certification. Yep.
and weather.
Yeah, because I mean, Brad said he just needs some good weather and that certification to come in, and they'll be ready to start making progress.
You look at the long-term forecast.
Well,
2 days of rain.
it's been like that all spring, so it doesn't want to change.
The fundraising committee, I think, is going to meet again next Monday evening. I had a meeting with Dennis Folk. Working on some of the things that we need to say just to finalize that so that we can get the video done with Daniel Fayette. The other promotional handouts, I think, are pretty much finalized. Dennis is going to folks are walking by. We're going to have a booth, tent, so that folks can come and get information about it. I told them I'd love to have the video done by the fair. We'll have to wait and see if we will or not. And then we're also going to have a couple of display boards with the renderings at the fair so that folks can actually see what the final product's going to be.
I wonder if, we just got to figure that out. We're having trouble with our commercial. Danny and I are having room for the people that normally are in there. If we could set tents up on the existing site,
it's gonna be fenced. So I was talking with Scott about it. It'll be fenced because it'll be an active construction site, and then also that building. That's going to be sitting there, and so we don't want folks climbing on it and possibly damaging or bending some of the metal sheeting that'll be on the outside of the building.
Okay, so this additional is coming from Edit.
It was like 3.6 million in it right now, maybe a little more than that. So there are funds in Edit itself right now that aren't committed to anything else.
And we're gonna reimburse that
Yeah.
account when the ready money comes, right?
Yeah, so the minimum portion for the county was 1.2 million, with the goal set of $800,000 for fundraising. And so, that number could be fluid depending on which way it goes, but we are already 1.2, and then Brian Robbins was able to confirm with the state that when ready funds start to get dispersed, say that we spend the full $2 million and ready funds start to get dispersed, we can pay ourselves back to get us back to that 1.2 if we go ahead and raise the 800,000 in donations.
Okay.
And this is for 2,020,000, and there's already 36,000, so that will cover everything.
So it's $2,056,000.
Yes.
And then the commissioners already done this.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $2 million in ready project.
The first and the second. Still got one here, yeah. Any nays? I don't hear anything. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Passes.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
Hey, Jeremy,
Okay.
just, no, we got one for
Yeah, we
sports
got
complex. No, we got one for
Yeah, we
sports
got
complex too.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Which one's this?
Get out.
Just the 100?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a $100,000 shortfall on the total number after we went and looked at the total cost for the completion of the backboard diamonds, and ran the numbers. The 100,000 covers all of the final expenditures for the ball diamonds. The 100,000 covers all of the final expenditures for the ball diamonds. We've had, I think, 7 tournaments now. Last weekend they raised $9,000 out of the ball diamonds at concessions. So I mean, it's rocking out there. I think this final additional, it would put the county, like actual county money, not ARPA or TIF or anything like that, at $300,000 for the project. Because there was $200,000 that came from Build Decatur County, and then we have this $100,000 from Edit. So we have a $300,000 investment into a roughly $1.7 million project, because Rob was able to get funds from different areas. And so I think that this project so far is really proving fruitful. I was talking with a small business owner here in the county that owns a restaurant, and he's already seen a very noticeable difference in traffic from weekends that have tournaments to weekends that don't. I think it's next weekend, we saw a major jump in the number of teams that's going to be here. It was going from like that 35 to 40 up to over 70 teams. And so that is what we're being told from UAAA, is that that is when we get these back 4 diamonds, we will be averaging over 70, possibly over 80 teams a weekend. And so, I mean, when you're talking 13 to 15 players a team, 1 to 2 parents, possibly grandparents coming in, we don't have enough hotel space even to support all that. But our local businesses, our restaurants, and other shops are going to be seeing a massive increase in volume of sales. I mean, it's going to be
getting a lot of chatter on the Facebook groups for the different tournaments.
Yep.
I've got coworkers in Indianapolis that are showing me screenshots where they love the diamonds. They're talking about how much safer they are,
Yep.
and they're encouraging people to come. So
yeah, and they wanted in Edinburgh that they could no longer host there the first weekend of the fair, and they wanted to bring it here just on a whim. We talked about logistics, number of teams, traffic concerns, timing of the event to timing of folks getting there for the track events and the parade. We decided it wasn't going to work, but I mean, that just shows where UAAA is at, that they want to keep coming here because so far it's been just a fantastic success.
I know the income was decent too.
It has.
Started out. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, what, is that your gross?
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah.
It should be
The
profitable,
input.
because I bought a water out there yesterday, $3.
Good.
I should be doing all right.
Thanks for your support, Rick.
So have we seen a plan on how they're going to handle those profits and what the projections are and how they're going to apply those?
So in discussing some of that with Rob, what we need to do, because we still need to finalize the contract, repaying the $200,000 as you guys have wanted. We also want to make sure that we are investing for future replacement costs. And so I think that we need to look at that, but also they're going to be hiring, or they already have additional staff. They don't just have one person 24/7 out there. So they're going to have some maintenance folks out there to help with the preparation for these weekend tournaments. So there will be some additional costs that will go there that can come out of these funds, but there do need to be those steps put in place with the Parks Department so that when we get 15 years down the road and these diamonds need to be replaced again, we aren't talking about whatever inflation is going to be on these costs.
Is, Christie, is there have they got a separate fund?
So, 1179, which is park activity, I had discussed on whether they wanted it to go in there or an actual fund for the ball diamonds specifically.
I think it needs to be specific for the ball diamonds, at least for now.
And I think, honestly, what we need to look at is a fund for operating costs for the ball diamonds, and then a separate ball diamonds that is a non-reverting account that does not that is not touched. It's like a long-term.
Probably should set up a percentage of everything that comes out that goes into that.
Yeah.
But I think that, but from this council's perspective, together just for all the activities that are going on with that ball diamonds, I want to make sure that money it needs to be segregated so we know what's going on. I mean, we got an expensive facility out there right now that's going to need
You'll need
attention,
upkeep,
and we want to make
maintenance.
sure that, we've told all the other departments, we got stuff, put the money back to take care of it, so, I mean, we're only, 3 months into this thing starting out.
Yeah, it's not even 2 full months of operation.
Yeah,
I mean,
get
they
that.
started, I think, the second weekend in April. So
So that's a little beyond our auditor's office control. We'll have to have somebody but we can get on that and start looking
We just
into
need to
it.
keep
I
an
don't
eye
know
on that.
whose authority is it?
Well,
Park
the board is the governing body out there. They're the ones that need to be making the decisions, but we need to be. They got a lot going on out
They
there,
do.
so I just want to make sure those funds don't get lost in the shuffle, or we're getting skewed numbers.
Yeah, we don't want it to come back on us.
I mean. But as far as the long-term maintenance, best way to do that is just run a percentage of what comes out of there, just goes into that account automatically and stays in there.
So, right now, there's $100,000 you appropriated from the complex, and that goes on, does that get paid back too? Like we did the 200,000, or we have to make that
we
decision?
did not make that stipulation when we voted on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not make that stipulation.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve as presented.
I'll second.
Kenny, Ashley? Anybody opposed? All in favor? Aye. Passes.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Rick.
Ashley mentioned about positive comments on Facebook. Is there any effort to check with surrounding counties or check with the SSSA 75 and 80 team events in here that we're not making people that come to Greensburg, they're not upset because they don't have this amenity or don't have this? Sure. Is there a method that we can?
I can talk to Erica at Tourism and then Rob to see. I know I had talked to one of the gentlemen from U-Trip probably 2 weeks ago now to get feedback on kind of what their experience has been the first month and a half at that point. Some very small things that were growing pains, if you will, for the negative side of it. There were a whole lot of positive comments about where we are. So I mean, we're going to see an increase in our hotel's capacity. But no, I haven't heard anything, even from talking to the folks that head up.
Just so folks that are involved out there, side of it is customer satisfaction year 1, year 5. It's important to maintain that level.
Okay. Yeah, I think at the end of the year, the important numbers to get will be from tourism to look at traffic, because we can really show the number of folks that are coming in, and we can get a poll of the amount of that traffic so that we can show truly what the revenue was from 2024 without the diamond renovation to 2025 with the diamond renovation. And I think those numbers will be pretty enlightening for all of us. And
tourism and the impact that's going to make on what they do too, because their income's based on the hotel tax and stuff.
Yep.
They're going to see a tremendous. So I hope they're on board and supporting it and doing all they can do to help. That part of it.
Yeah, and I think that some of that information can really help us make decisions kind of on policy questions.
Expenses down the road.
Some things in the past that we may have said no to, that with this kind of consistent traffic might be something that we need to consider. So,
Is tourism still using that placer data system?
Jeff Whitaker building another hotel, right?
yeah, I talked to him last week. Yeah, so there's another hotel. I don't remember what the capacity was. It was over 200. And Thursday night last week, and alleviate some of the constraints that we have for hotel rooms.
Hotel, frame, restaurants.
Yep.
Very good.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Jeremy.
List here. 911.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just coming today to get final approval of moving money that's already in our account into a specified maintenance for our tower to the 911 fund. We do have that money, so we're not asking for additional. We're just asking for appropriations for that money so we can get the necessary updates, repairs, and also to upgrade our towers to have a better backup system for the county. And I do still have those quotes. I appreciate at the last meeting you allowing us to go ahead and make that move to order that equipment since it's going to be on such a delay. We did get that done. I did ask period, but with the way things are going, that's the whole purpose of being 2 to 3 weeks. They don't keep that stuff on hand, so they do not allow any type of cancellation policy. But we did get it moving, so hopefully here in a couple of weeks we'll be able to set a date for the repairs for that tower. So asking for $50,000 out of our cash fund of our countywide fund to be moved over to tower fund to our current budget. Josh did go ahead and order the repeater, the 700 megahertz repeater. I took care of ordering the rest of the equipment for that project.
I'll make a motion to approve.
First and second. Anybody? All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you much.
Christy, is there a reason these all say June 17th on them?
Yeah, I noticed that.
What does the, oh, yeah. It's a copy and paste kind of thing, so
Will it affect anything or?
no. I'll go for it.
That's the date of our next actual council.
Yeah,
That's right.
and I will be gone.
That's why.
Right.
Yeah,
Second,
there we go. Yeah.
beat me to